So back on the subject of incremental improvements, one of the things you might have noticed, maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but I think it's a little bit too loud. So I've got this section of, there's one of these each side of the car, and as you can possibly see, I've got this very short fat silencer, which I'm going to insert right there. Hopefully it won't affect any of the rest of the exhaust and anything else under the car, obviously. So let's cut that off. So it's being strictly done by eye. Although I think I will just put my guard back on. I did need it off earlier on, but no need to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. So I'm trying to use the parts of the pipe where the pipe is actually round and where I can get to weld it back after. So I'm going to go here. Okay, so keep that to one side. I'll put this back where it was, and now we have a silencer to put in the middle. So as you can see, this is how it was on the other side. And this is how it is now. There's only one slight thing, is that the gap here is a lot bigger, and it's forced the rear silencer down and the tailpipe up here upwards, because there's a little bit of a rotation needed. It needs to turn upwards a little bit. But otherwise that's worked pretty well. Yeah, so it needs to move from there to there. So let's do that then. So I'm going to detach my tack welds and I'm going to turn this to go upwards, or if I went upwards, or this to go upwards, same thing. Anyway, going to cut those tack welds off and do that. Yes, it's the shank on the grinder is preventing me from getting in where I want it to go. Oh well, that is a little bit bigger. I think it's let go. Just right. So where were we? And we should just see where the weld was before. Fetch my light. Where's my light? Okay, so it was like that, but we need it to be more like, yeah, going uphill. Because I only want to clock this upwards, I've just simply put a piece of old pipe under the end and got the thing seated where it otherwise was. And now I'm going to see if I can stick it together. And I think I will rely on the safety squint again, but I'm going to tack it round here so I can conceivably get to it again if I need to. the first and hopefully only important tack. I'll just beef that up a bit and then turn it over and do the other side, same thing. Earth clamp, of course. Okay, let's see how much better that works. And then I'll hopefully just come back and fully weld it. The gap between the axle and this flexi, this is on resting position, so on bump it's going to go upwards, is pretty much the same as it was before. But we now have this extra silencer and it doesn't it reduces ground clearance probably just a little tiny bit, but as it's in line with the axle, or the wheel rather, probably doesn't make a huge amount of difference, he said. The only problem is that this hanger, which was previously there, obviously the pipe is no longer a pipe, and it's not going to work like that, so I'm going to have to come up with something different. I could even take that hanger off and just weld this tag on or something. I have to think about that. But in the meantime, I think I'll fully weld those two joins. That's worked out as well as I would have hoped, to be honest. Right, time to fully weld this thing. Right, fuse outage solved. Now do this side. Well, I reckon that should do it. So, put that back on. Switch the battery on. You won't be able to hear this, but I can. This is definitely louder. Well, here we are now with a little bunch more tweakery. So that silencer is still pretty low, but not nearly as low as it was before. And there may be scope for it to come up a little bit more. But now to get round to the other side, I suppose, over there. And there we have it, after a bunch more struggling. Both sides have now got an extra silencer in, and what I've done is I've tucked this short silencer back box kind of up in front of the axle, so that's where I found the space. There's probably scope for a little bit of improvement, but I think the height of this thing is very similar to what it was before. Yeah, some extra height could probably be found if necessary. But we'll see. Well, okay, here it is on the ground, and it may require a little bit more work, but the ground clearance is in line with the wheels more or less, so they may not be quite so bad as it looks, if you like, but anyway, we'll see. So we'll see what it sounds like then. That's the most important thing.